Hello everyone. In today's session, we are discussing about the functions of management. The functions of management is one of the most important topic in the organizational behavior. So let me go through with the functions of management in detail. So the functions of management, normally the management in the sense of getting things done through others. So whenever we are discussing about the management, it's a process. If it is a process, then maybe different kinds of the elements those are directly linking with in the particular management process. So where we are discussing about the planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, these are all interlinking elements. So whenever we are going to take the decision making, first of all we need to go through with these kind of the functions. So according to the C.S. George, the management process is not a series of the separate functions which can be performed independently. It is a complete process made up of these ingredients. So we couldn't separate the planning as a separate thing and organizing as a separate thing, and then the controlling is a separate thing. So we need to perform step by step manner. Once we need to start with the planning, then we need to go for the organizing, then we need to discussing about the staffing, then we are going through with the analysis of the directing, then how the things has been controlling in the organization or not. So let me go through with the one by one. The planning. So planning is a mental process requiring foresight and sound judgment. Planning implies the deciding in advance what to do, when to do, where to do, and how the results are to be evaluated. So here the organization, they are having the different kinds of the objectives. So whether these objectives can be performed in a proper manner or not, the management, they need to plan before going for the action. So here the company, they need to plan different kinds of the things. So let me go through with the laying down the objectives. So before going to start the organization, first of all the company, they need to know about what is the purpose, why we are establishing the organization, whether we are looking after for the profit maximization, whether we are looking after for the shareholders wealth maximization, whether we are going for the sales maximization, or else we are giving the service for the society. What is the purpose, why we are establishing the organization? The second one, the developing the planning premises within the organization, how best we are utilizing the resources which is available, how best we are utilizing the resources in an optimum manner. Similarly, we are looking out for the searching alternative course of the actions. So here the company, they are always look after to reduce the cost. So how best we are going to look after for the alternative courses of actions. So once the alternative courses can be identified, then we need to go for the evaluation of various alternatives, whether these alternatives can be implementable or not. Is there any pros and cons will be there? Then based upon the availability of the alternatives, then we need to frame the policies and procedures. The policies and procedures in the sense, whenever we are discussing about the organization, they must have the code of conduct, the rules and regulations. Those people who are involving in the organization, those people who are working in the organization, those people who are monitoring the organization, they must be came under the policies and procedures of the organization. The code of conduct, which is the most crucial element for any organization. Then according to the future requirements, we need to prepare the schedules, we need to plan the programs, and then we need to implement the budgets. So these are all the planning criteria, what we are going to do in the upcoming year, in the upcoming days. The second one, the organizing. After completion of the planning, the most important thing, how best we are going to organizing the things in an organization, because of the organization is the group of functional departments. We are having production, we are having marketing, we are having financial management, we are having information technology, we are having human resource. Whenever these departments, they are working together, then only the goal of the organization can be achievable. So according to the Lewis Allen, organization is the process of identifying and grouping the work to be performed and dividing it among the individuals and creating authority, responsibility and relationship among them for the accomplishment of the objectives. So first of all, we need to identify the activities. Those activities are directly linking with the objectives of the organization. Then we need to grouping these activities in a logical manner. So whenever these objectives can be performed one by one, then the ultimate objective of the organization can be achievable. So we need to assign the employees based upon the existing objectives. So we need to delegate the authority, and we are fixing the responsibilities for these employees. The coordinating among the employees, among the functional departments, it will be the crucial element for the success of the organization. So they must have the proper relationship. So each and every employee, those people who are working in the organization, they must have their own responsibilities. Then only the objective of the organization can be achievable. So after completion of the organization, then we are looking after for staffing. In that staffing, we are allocating the right person into the right task. So here we are discussing about right from the recruitment criteria to ultimately the placing of these people into the right task. So according to Harold Koontz and Cyril O'Donnell, the managerial function of staffing involves managing the organizational structure through proper and effective selection, appraisal and development of personnel to fill the roles designed in the structured manner. The first and foremost thing, we need to plan the manpower. Based upon the organizational requirement, we need to go for the planning of manpower. That means we need to determine the number and the kind of personnel will be required. So we need to identify how many of the people we need for working in an organization. Then we need to go for the recruitment process. The recruitment process in the sense of we need to choose the right place where we need to hire these kind of the personnel. The organization, they are having the group of functional departments. So each and every department, they are having their own requirement. So based upon these requirement, we need to go for the recruitment. For example, if the people they need for the financial department, we need the background of accounting or the financial background candidates. If I look after for the human resource, we need the human resource background students. So I look after for the marketing, we need the marketing background people. So based upon the requirement of the department, we need to choose the people. Based on that, we need to give the advertisement for the recruitment. Once the recruitment process has been started, then maybe the group of the people they are gathered for the recruitment purpose. Among them, we need to select the candidates. For that, we are using the different kinds of the steps for the selection criteria. There maybe the different steps will be available. It may be in the form of the group discussion or written test, or we can go for the personal interviews, or we can go for the face-to-face interviews. There may be different kinds of that. So once the selection has been done, once the personnel has been selected by these people, then we will go through with the placement. We are giving the direct offer letters to these candidates. Once the people they got the offer letter, then the training will be started. So the training is a short-term process to know about what kind of the job they are going to perform. So after completion of the training, the development will be started based upon the skills and ability, the knowledge of the employee, and the development will be different. So on during of the job duration, here the company they are conducting the performance appraisal techniques to know how best the people they are performing in the organization, whether these personnel they are meeting the requirements of the company or not. So based upon the performance of the employee, the company they may offer the promotion, they can offer the termination, or else the company they will go for the transfer of these people from one company to another company, from one branch to another branch, or else the people they can go for the layoff. So this is what involving in the staffing, allocating the right employee into the right job. Once the staffing has been done, then we need to go for the directing. The most important thing, according to the George or Terry, the directing means moving to action and supplying simulative power to the group. It means issuing instructions to the subordinates, guiding, motivating, and supervising them to achieve the organizational goal. Here, ultimate purpose, those people who are working in the organization, the capabilities, the skills of these people will be carrying towards the organizational goal for achieving. The last thing will be the controlling. According to E.F.L. Brech, controlling is the process of checking actual performance against the agreed standards with a view to ensuring satisfactory performance. So what are the steps which we are discussing so far? It might be in the form of the planning, organizing, staffing, directing. So whether these steps can be performing in an expected manner in the organization or not, we need to go for the review. That's what we are going to call the controlling. The determination of standards for measuring of work performance, whether it is actually done in the organization or not. So we need to measure the actual performance of the employees or the organization. The comparing actual performance with the standards. We are having the benchmarking. So based upon the benchmark, we need to compare these performances. The finding the variance between the actual and the standard performance. So based on that, we need to take the corrective action to ensure the attainment of the objective. So this is what we are having the complete picture for the better understanding. The 5 functions of the management whenever we are discussing about the planning, what to do, when to do, and how to do. When we are discussing about the organization, then we have different kinds of the functional departments like recruitment, sales, marketing, production, and operation. When we are discussing about the staffing, it will be start with the hiring, the training and development, the promotion, the remuneration and compensation. Then we are finally, these are all based upon the performance of the particular employee. Then the fourth and important one is the directing. Here we are going to supervising the people, we are motivating the employee, we are giving the guidance to our subordinates, we are acting as a guide to achieve the organizational goal. Then the final thing, the controlling. We are going to measuring the overall performance of the people or the functional departments. So if there may be any deviations will be there, we are going to correcting it. The ultimate purpose of the controlling to achieve the target in an time manner. Hope you guys understand what are the basic functions of the management. Thank you.